Hi, welcome back to the Amateur Whiskey Review. My name's Christian, and I am the Novice Whiskey Reviewer. So, for my second episode today, we're going to start with the Scotch that really got me into whiskey. Story of the Scotch was one time while I was in Mexico, I had started dabbling in whiskey. I had certain whiskeys like Jameson's and Evan Williams Black Label, but I wasn't a huge whiskey connoisseur by any means. And I decided one day I was just going to have this neat and a glass of water on the side. And the guy at the resort might not have really known what he was doing, but he gave me an exceptionally large pour, which I did end up drinking it all. I really did love this whiskey. It's Passport Scotch. It's not a typical Scotch you can find. Um, Actually, this bottle I actually got on a trip a while in Mexico. It was a great deal. I think it was buy two for 18 US, so about $9 a bottle. And it's a blended Scotch whiskey from the William Longmore Co. It's 40% alcohol, and one of the cheap things they do to save money on this bottle is make it only 700 milliliters, which is unfortunate, but still a great price for the quality of scotch you're getting. Um, I have heard some rumors that this is barreled and aged in Scotland, but then sent over to uh, Argentina to be cut and bottled. I do not know if that's a true statement, but that is something I've heard. Rumor of. There's not a lot of information for this whiskey available, but it's definitely really common in Argentina, and in Mexico I was able to find it. In the U.S., the only place I've been able to find it is Woodman's, and then it's a plastic bottle instead of glass. So, unfortunately, it's not common in the Midwest. I don't know what its availability is in other parts of the country, but if you can find it in a glass bottle especially, I would highly recommend trying it. But let me give you kind of a review so that you know what to expect and see if this is a whiskey you'd be interested in. So as normal, I already have it pre-poured into a Glencairn glass. So let me give you a bit of a nosing, and then some of this is also going to be from memory because I've this isn't a first look at a whiskey. This is a whiskey I've visited several times and just thought I'd share with you. So right off the bat, the nose does have a little bit of alcoholic scent to it, a little bit of a burn on the nose, but that's to be expected. It's a $9 bottle of scotch. You definitely get melon and smoke. It's like a nice, looks like a applewood smoke. If anyone's into like smoking food, but yeah, a little bit of applewood smoke. Definitely a little undertone of peatiness, which I really like. Um, Let me give this a try. It's fantastic. Nice melon, a good sourness, and then hits you with peaty smoke, and the peaty smoke just lingers there, which is I absolutely love. This is a whiskey that doesn't just end. You get the you get the fresh melon and kind of a tart whiskey, and then towards the end it just lingers there as a smoky kind of peaty. It's a fantastic whiskey. I know a lot of these blended scotches, you'll drink them and they'll have a great flavor and then they'll disappear. This is definitely not the case with this. This one lingers, leaves a great smoky taste in your mouth. I still have a taste in my mouth from it. It's for the price. I definitely think it's worth recommending, which is why I'm reviewing it as the second whiskey on my channel. It's a whiskey that got me in love with whiskey, Scotch in particular. Um, Kind of my entry into Scotch. I'm definitely biased. I mean, as I'm very open about in this review. I love it. I think it's a fantastic deal. I don't know what else to say about it. Um, if in the US I could find it for $9 in a glass bottle, readily available, without a doubt, it would always be in my bar. Whenever I go and see it in a glass bottle, I typically do purchase it, um, as many as I want to buy at the time. Um, Last time I got 2 bottles because I didn't want to carry whiskey on the beach, right? Plus transportation, they have a certain bottle limit that you can get, and unfortunately, when you go to Mexico, you want tequila, not just whiskey. Um, but yeah, as for a rating, I definitely give it 90 out of 100. It loses some points because it is slightly harsher, but for me, that's not a problem. Some people might find that a little bit of a problem. And the fact that it's not available and that in the US you're kind of forced to get a plastic jug, which I'm not a fan of. Other than that, if you can find it, I highly recommend it. Without a doubt, would say it's a whiskey worth trying.